Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Gospel Hour with David. Glory be to God, Jesus Christ is alive. My friends, today I want to talk about, purpose. And having a purpose in life. What happens when we lose our purpose in life? I know for me in my life, the last few days or whatever, kind of been feeling down and low. And I in that just begin to start to feel lonely. Right? And we could be in a room full of 1,000 people and still feel lonely. And we could be isolated from all the world and yet still feel lonely. We might be depressed. And in that, we struggle to find our self-worth, our self-esteem, our purpose in life, a reason for us to have a life, a reason for us to be happy, joyful, and thankful. I make these videos and recordings because that's my purpose, right? Without that, I would have no purpose. And as small as it is, as little as it is, it's still a purpose. It still gives me something, a reason to wake up in the morning, a reason to be joyful and thankful. The number one reason I do this is I care. And I want you to know not only that I care, but there's a faith in something. There is something that can take away our loneliness, that can take away our bitterness, that can take away our depression. And it all comes and is generated from within us. That's the thing in life, and how I can do something like this, making videos and recordings about life, the Bible, God, Jesus, and say, wow, that's a purpose. And yet in that, I find great joy in doing this. I find joy in meeting people. I find joy in walking with people through their struggles, through their life, through my struggles, my life. I enjoy meeting people and all those things, sharing faith, learning about your life, sharing my life. Those things give me joy. And I make these videos for my own sanity. And my own sanity says that one day my prayer and hopes will come true when you receive this message with joy and thankfulness. And so I do these things. God cares. You are loved, you are cherished, and you are a wonderful person. And God cares about you. And yet, God, the Almighty God, who gives life to everything, cares so much about you, yet why don't we care about ourselves? And it's not that we aren't physically taking care of ourselves. Sure, maybe we brush our teeth and we eat and that, but why don't we love ourselves? Why don't we see ourselves as being worthy to be God's child? To be worthy of a purpose. Why would, and even me, there's times when I believe that I'm stuck in the mud and really my purpose is meaningless. And I begin to wonder, is what I'm doing right? Is there any good coming from it? Is it helping anybody? In my life, it's not very rewarding financially or any other way as this world may see it. But I'm happy to do these things. And when I'm not doing them, I wonder if I should be. And where is our purpose coming from? What is our purpose in life? And for me, I believe our purpose is to bear fruit. What do you mean bear fruit? What does this world need most? Right now, in your life, when you know it, if you're feeling low, depressed, and lack of self-esteem or worth, you know that there's one thing I want most, and that's to be loved. I want to feel love, I want to know love, and I want to experience love. And I want to be wrapped in love. So the thing that the world needs most is love, and yet we need to bear fruit. And the fruit is being gentle. This world needs gentle people, and yet you're a gentle person. That this world needs kindness, and you are kind. See, this world needs you. What does this world need most in life? Love. And yet you're loving. Love out there. And you know what love is. But can you walk and look right into the mirror and say, I love you? That's the thing that we miss in life. I'm waiting for somebody to love me. But can you look in the mirror and say, I love you? And looking at yourself into the depths of your own soul. You matter. And I care about you. See, we're looking for someone to care for us and to love us and cherish us. But can you do it while looking in the mirror? Because you are important. You do matter. And there is a purpose for you in life. And God made you for that purpose. This world needs love more than ever. And yet, you have patiently endured bad behavior and abuse all through your life. And yet God created you because you are loving. And you endured those things. And within you has the ability to go long times or over a long period of time while enduring suffering. And yet we wonder, what is our purpose? And it's to bear fruit. God created you to bear fruit. This world needs you. And you know this world needs you. You want to be needed. And yet we need you. You know, that's the thing is God gives us all the authority. In the same way, He gave Jesus all authority to judge and rule the earth. He gave us the authority to judge and rule the earth. Yet, how do we judge or perceive ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes God only endows us with exactly what we can do. And God would never give you something you cannot do. And all things are possible for those who believe in God. And if the only thing that God has made possible for you today is to stand up and walk outside into the front yard for a breath of fresh air, then that's what God has enabled you to do, and you can do that. And that's the things that we kind of get lost on. What can I do and what can't I do? And we're always focused on what I can't do. Yet what can I do? How many of us are seeking to do something and have nothing to do, and yet we do it because we feel like we have to, but we never do anything because we want to. Just because I want to do that because I want to. And in doing that, my want and my hope is to find joy. I want to do it because I think it would be fun. Focus on what you can do. Can you look in the mirror and say, I love you? I mean, don't just be so dependent on someone else's validation. Can you validate yourself? Being judge of the world, We can judge wickedness and bad behavior and good and angelic behavior or holy behavior, but how do we judge ourselves? Can I just take on a project, and it may be meaningless to the world? Can I just take on a project because it brings joy to me? Can I just go outside and take one breath of fresh air because it feels good? And you can do those things. And you are worthy of those things. You know, it sucks when the whole world doesn't appreciate you and has written you off as being worthless, but you don't have to agree with them. Because God has chosen the broken heart, the crushed in spirit, to be those whom He wants to meet personally. And in that, the hardest thing to get the broken spirit and crushed in heart to see and understand is God stands with you in your brokenness. He stands with you in your unbelief. Your unbelief that you are loved, cherished. God stands with us while we're in the mud. And it's from the miry mud God can raise up for Himself children. We are made to bear fruit. We are made because the world needs love. It needs you. It's okay to just find your joy in the little things that nobody else can seem to understand. And that's okay. But get up. Get out of bed. You know, it's tough in life when nobody can see your value, but don't believe them. You have value. Get out of bed. Get up. Even if all you can do today is get up, God has endowed you with that power. Grab hold of it. If all you can do today is listen to music, listen to gospel music, listen to music wrapped in love. And don't think that love has to come from an external source. Another person, a relationship, a job or career, finances. Comes from within. Within loving yourself. Within seeing yourself as being worthy to just take on joy today. It's okay to laugh. Seek out comedy. The first sign of Jesus' presence, His promise coming to reality is laughter. Isaac. The name Isaac is laughter. God wants to bring joy into your heart, not through a disbelief of mockery, but a sense of true joy that endures a lifetime. Look into the mirror and say, I love you. Even if you don't believe it, try it. Because you're the one whom God is trying to convince. You are loved. And I'm willing to hold your hand. And I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait till you believe that I am here, willing to hold your hand. God has greater patience than what we know. Sometimes the worst words in the world are the words we're speaking to ourselves. The words that are never heard by the world. The words we speak to ourselves. Not good enough. I can't. I won't. And I don't. Can't do it. I won't do it. Because I don't matter. But you do matter. You need to matter to yourself. Jesus says you mattered so much, He died for you. Died for you. So that you could have peace with God. You know, it sucks when the world is in a place of chaos, hatred, and violence. Yet what does this world need most? Love. Because hatred breeds hatred. Violence breeds violence. Murder breeds murder. And you can't overcome those things by engaging in evil practices. The only thing that this world needs is love. It needs somebody to be nurturing. And yet you are nurturing. It needs somebody to be caring, and yet you are caring. It needs you. And this world would be lost without you. And that's our purpose. To come and know God, our Father who lives in heaven, who is in control and master over all things that are happening. And in the evilness, and in the good. Because God gives each one of us free will, the ability to choose good or bad, life or death. And if we speak death, then that's what we're going to believe. If we speak life, then that's what we're going to believe. But He gave us free will, because free will has to be a reality in order for unconditional love to exist. Love yourself unconditionally. Have we placed a condition upon our life? Have we placed a label on our life? Does my joy come from being like that person or like that person? Oh, if only I had what you had. Only if I was given the life you were given. But God gave you life. And this is the life you were given. Whether it was a life filled with abuse and disappointment and letdowns, this is the life you were given. And it was given to you because this world needs love. This world needs good people. And you are a good person. I want to read you a little psalm before we take off. Psalm 61. Listen. Hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. From the ends of the earth I call to you. When my heart is faint, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. Let me dwell in your tent forever. Let me take refuge under the shelter of your wings. Selah. For you, O God, have heard my vows. You have given me the heritage of those who fear your name. Prolong the life of the king. May his years endure to all generations. May he be enthroned forever before God. Anoint steadfast love and faithfulness to watch over him. So will I ever sing praise to your name as I perform my vows day after day. And what is our vow? To believe. Believe you are loved. Believe you are cared for. Believe God will provide. Believe God knows your name. These are the vows. Believe. Believe. Be able to walk into the mirror and look at your own reflection, your own image, the image God gave you, and say, I love you, and I believe it. And I believe it. And I have been endowed with the power to overcome this world. Love. Love covers over a multitude of sins. And this is the truth. It doesn't matter how much we read the Bible. It doesn't matter how much we go to church. If we have no love, we are bankrupt. Bankrupt. We are void of purpose. We are void of life. We are void of the willingness to exist. What does this world need most? It needs you. It needs love. It needs love, because love triumphs over judgment. I want to read you this little poem. And my hope is that you would eternalize this poem and make it yourself. Make it your own. I pray that you would take this and look into the mirror and manifest it as a reality for your life. The Fig Tree is the title. If the world had no me, it would have no fruit for thee. If the world had no me, it would be a place void of kindness. If the world had no me, it would be a place of total violence. If the world had no me, the smile on your face would be faint and hard to see. If the world had no me, there would be no one to let you down. If the world had no me, there would be no need for the dirt which covers the ground. If the world had no me, patience would not be a virtue. If the world had no me, loving your enemy would have no value. If the world had no me, gentleness would be a loss. If the world had no me, there would be no need for a boss. If the world had no me, the colors of your emotions would be lifeless. If the world had no me, tenderness would have no place to rest. If the world had no me, the world would be without calamity. I was made to bear fruit. I was sent to bear fruit. The kind which never runs out, the kind which endures all the way to the end. The fruit which I am to bear is my faith in a good God who has forgiven you. Because even though not seeing, I was made to bear fruit for thee. And that's why God made me into a fig tree. My arms are tender, my leaves are sweet, my trunk is long, yet it was the bone which held my back tall, as I took the stripes for one and all. Like a river, my branches flow with the fruits of unconditional love. red, black, yellow, or white, fat, small, and those filled with might. I hold back not one seed, because I was made to bear fruit for thee. My roots are 6 foot down, and my stalk reaches all the way to the ends of the universe, like a crown. I was made for the earth below, to take the blows which bear the fruit as deep, a fruit sour as deep bitterness, a steadfast love which could not be overcome. I will wait and wait, and I will wait for you to believe me when I say, if the world had known me, there would be no one to protect you, and the world would be void of love. I am what you need most. I am the fig tree. And a perfect example of God's unconditional love. His love isn't determined on your ability to be greatness or to be the most popular person in your town. God's unconditional love is likened to the grave. It doesn't care who you are or where you've come from. You all are going to the same place. And when we're reborn, we will be standing in the presence of the living God. For absent from the body, present with the Lord. My God is the impossible. It was impossible to create the universe and everything with a word. It was impossible to breathe life into a man made of dirt. It was impossible to deliver a people through a ripped open ocean. It was impossible for Jesus to stand on water. It was impossible to feed 5,000 people with 2 fish and 5 loaves. My God is the impossible, and I believe in the impossible. Because there's nothing impossible for those who believe in Jesus Christ. Nothing. And He believes in you. See you next time.